Hello, traders. It's me, Robert. I'm out here in the San Francisco Bay Area, walking by this golf course, and I wanted to make a video because I haven't been able to put anything together for you guys here in the past couple of weeks because it's been super busy. I know the majority of you that have come to my channel have come through either Sierra chart videos, trade copier, also the risk management videos about Apex and the trailing drawdown, different things you got to know if you're going to be in this game, trading prop firm, trading futures. And I just wanted to make a video today. You know, a lot of people message me and write in, and I appreciate all you guys. I'm so grateful. And ask me all kinds of questions and ask about mostly emotional stuff, which is the key to this whole game. Because, you know, we get in this state when we're trading. I know I do. I don't do it anymore so much. And when I'm aware of it, when I do, and I try not to, try to think of the market when I'm sitting there looking at that screen and I've got my DOMs going back and forth and I got tick charts moving up and down and I got my TPOs, everything else, whatever I'm looking at. And I have to divorce myself from that, or I have to step back, because if you get too micro, like super focused and zoomed in on the thing, you start trying to, almost feels like you're attached to it, especially if you have a position on, right? That's the feeling I don't want to have. I want to look at the things objectively and make, you know, objective decisions, reasonable, rational decisions, preferably that are outlined ahead of time and based on some kind of system that I'm trading. And then knowing when I'm not, you know, doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing, when I'm not following my own rules, when I'm doing things like sizing up to make back a loss, sizing up because I just want to make more money, or sizing up because I think it's a good opportunity, so I should size up. And those are the things that, you know, they destroy you, because over time it destroys you. You might get lucky and get a few good trades in here and there, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm so smart, I have this figured out. But the problem is not that individual trade. It's when you look at it over a bigger picture and you start looking and you'll see these big giant red days, these day or blown up account days, right? And we don't want that. So the idea is to stay consistent and also know, you know, just when to throw in the towel. If I'm not reading the market well, if I'm taking losses back to back, nothing seems to work, it's a good time to regroup and stop. And stop trading for a minute so I can ask myself, like, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing here? Or am I just reacting out of fear? Or am I just reacting out of greed? Because those are the two things. You know, I didn't really see the greed in myself until recently. I'm greedy. And my trading suffers for it because I want to hold on to stuff way too long, you know, in that hope that it's going to go much farther than it's an auction. It's going to go till it stops going, either direction. It's going to go until there's an opposition that's big enough to push it back the other way. And that's going to happen at some point. Now, there are days that just go, like today, I didn't trade. I placed a couple trades on NAS. It did okay. But I didn't trade it till the afternoon. And, you know, I could see that if I had been there earlier, I probably would have got torn up because it didn't really respect the initial balance. It got a little crazy. There was a deep pullback, and then it just went. And being on the right side of that is important. You know, trying to be on the right side of those kind of moves so that you can catch those big pieces, but not be greedy about it. And I don't need to catch 200 points. That's not reasonable, you know? And not that it doesn't happen on NAS, because it does, but if I'm following a system and I have good money management, I shouldn't be holding a full position for 200 points unless I'm a swing trader, you know? Things like that, little things like that that help people along the way, help me along the way for sure. Trying to be aware of that stuff. So I think, you know, there's a lot of different things that people struggle with, and I've struggled with all of them too. You know, I really have. And having that system in place that has some clearly defined rules. And the analysis portion, this is the part, being in one-on-one coaching with Victoria over at Trade Pro Academy, and it's not a plug for it, but there's a link down there. If you guys want to join, it's like $219 a month, and you get all the courses now. They changed it. You get everything. So for $219 a month, you get the conference call, you get the Zoom call in the morning where you get to watch Vic trade, and you listen to Fatty, and they'll tell you what they're doing, which is cool. And then you also get access to all the coursework, the Discord, all that stuff. Everything. It's great. I paid a lot of money for that. But I'm grateful that it's this way now, that other people can, like anybody, almost on any budget, can get involved now, and you can learn the things you need to learn. So that's awesome. And I really do hope that you'll come and join us. But the first part, the part about the one-on-one coaching that really has helped me is understanding market structure and being able to do the analysis, because it's all outlined in the course, but you know, I'm particularly hard-headed and I need several repetitions to get something to work for me. But you know, there's a podcast that they did, and I'll see if I can find it. If I put a link to the podcast down there from Trade Pro Academy, the Mind Over Markets podcast, where they talk about, you know, if you were hired by a bank or some kind of financial institution, whatever, that does trading, they hire you in the first, they're not going to put you on the trade desk. Not new, you know. The first thing you're going to do is learn analysis. And you'll be there for years learning analysis, just doing analysis. So you provide information for the trade room, for the trade desk. And, you know, we come into trading, and within an hour, we're sitting there clicking buy and sell and gambling, essentially, right? And not having a system in place, not knowing how to do the analysis and look at the market structure and understand volume profiles. And because I really need to consider that when I'm trading. When I go to enter a position, when I place a trade, does it even make sense? Does it even make sense? And I'm not talking about like in the moment, the, oh, I think it's going to go up kind of sense. That's just your mind talking. And not acting on that is important. I'm talking about like, am I at a key level? Am I at the edge of a distribution? Am I at a ledge? Am I at some critical inflection point? Or am I pulling back into an area that's shown solid support so I can get long or short or whatever? Does the position of my trade even make sense in the context of the market? And if I'm saying that to you and you don't really know what I'm talking about, yeah, the chances are it probably doesn't. But if you don't know what I'm talking about is being able to analyze that market, to find those levels, to be able to then, because just because I have the level, it doesn't mean that I'm going to place a trade there necessarily. What it means is that it's like an area of interest to me, someplace that I want to look and pay attention to when it trades. And then from there, I'll be watching my order flow tools, my footprint, my DOM, my tick charts too, they have delta. And I'm looking for imbalances. I'm looking for how aggressively they're buying or selling. Are they getting stuck? Are they getting absorbed? Are they getting exhausted? All the different things that can happen. It only comes with time. You have to watch that. And if you do come join us at Trade Pro, they have lessons on that too. We got replays, everything in there. It's awesome. And learn. So having that information, knowing what I am doing when I place this trade, does it make sense or not? Because when I go back on my journal and look, I can clearly see that my emotional mind, this thing running up here talking, made some kind of crazy decision about, oh, we should get in right here. It's going to go down. There's a lot of sellers. But it doesn't make sense in the context of the market. It doesn't make sense in the level, or it doesn't make sense in the direction that we've been traveling. Like today. Today was a buy the dip kind of day. And if you were patient enough, you could buy the dip, especially using those volume profiles. You could see that there were people getting stuck. You could see the absorption happening, and you could take a little risk and get on board to see if you can catch some of that big piece to the upside. And that worked today, surprisingly well. But I know that because I understand how to analyze the market. And analyzing the market starts from, you know, monthlies, weeklies, working my way down. But it also comes from watching in like today, what's going on in the past week, several sessions, whatever. I watch those things too, because those levels, if you're watching them trade, you'll remember them, or you can write them on the chart or put a line or whatever you want to do. But you can say, okay, yeah, there was a lot of selling at this 32, you know, and now we've broken the 32 and we're going the other way. Is that 32 going to be support? I'm just saying a number. I'm not looking at a chart or anything. I think I actually moved that 32 level up a little bit on the ES, but understand. So that guy that started at the bank and he works for 2 years analyzing, learning how to read the market, learning how to look at the market, learning how to use the tools that he has to help him put together a trade plan, maybe be able to somewhat predict price based on, you know, just statistical probability and the way that things work out. You have a P shape that's trading in the bottom of the P. There's a good chance, you know, if there's a lot of heavy volume up there, maybe it dumps. Notice how I said maybe it dumps. You don't know that yet. If you've got a long, you know, expansion down into the lows and they've built a bunch of volume in there and now they're trading a little bit above that off the overnight, let's look for some longs. Do you know that stuff? Because if you don't know that stuff, how can you put together a trade plan? How can you truly understand what it is that you're even doing, right? And don't get me wrong, I'm not railing on anybody. I didn't know either. I had no idea. I didn't know that I didn't know. You know, that's the hard part about this, is I had no idea how much I didn't know when I got into this. Now, the last part of this that I want to talk about today with you guys, I like to keep things super simple. I know it might not sound like that after all that stuff that I just said, but I keep my charts simple. I keep my analysis simple. Try to just, you know, put some key areas that are out, like on the edges of stuff. I like to trade the edges, kind of try to stay out of the middle if I can. And not add a bunch of stuff to it, right? I like to keep things simple. The simpler, the better. The truth is, all you really need is like a market profile. If I only could have 2 charts, I would probably pick the market profile and the DOM. That's it. Now I have tick charts. I have a footprint, and they're on the screen. So there's those order flow tools, which can help. But the truth is, it's in the DOM. The DOM will show you everything if you can really focus on it. And focus on it without, in the beginning, it's important to focus on it without an opinion, right? Just watch it trade. Just watch it. And if you watch long enough, you'll see. You'll understand who's in control. You'll understand where people are getting stuck. You'll understand those things if you look and pay enough attention to it over a long enough period. Get to a point where it's just like, cool. And then you can make trades that are based on pretty decent probabilities. Maybe even get your win rate up to, you know, 60%, 70% if you're really good at it. But 50 will do. 45 will do. I have a video on that. And those are the things that I'm thinking today, guys. That's just the stuff that's on the top of my head. Got to learn how to read the market first. Got to learn how to do the analysis. Got to. It's critical. People in these professions, they're in there for years learning that. We come in within a month and, oh, I'm not profitable yet. Yeah, no kidding. Not profitable yet because I'm spending all this time just placing trades and doing whatever instead of learning the stuff I need to learn first. And I'm guilty of it. I wasted months. I wasted months and months and months before I finally got into Trade Pro and started to learn the stuff I need. And went after it, you know? Anyway, that's my video for today, guys. I'll leave another video up here. Maybe that 2-to-1 trading rule one, the one on risk. You know, I'll do some more videos on market analysis and how to set up a plan and everything. If you guys want, leave a comment down below and let me know what you guys are interested in learning. And we'll talk to you guys on the next one. Stay calm and trade on.